everybody. I'm Steph.
And I'm Mariana, and welcome to Coffee and Anime. For today's episode 2, we are reviewing an amazing comedy yet classic, Lovely Complex.
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest shoujos of all time. I'm just going to say it right now.
This one is you can't forget it.
Mm-mm.
The moment you go for a rewatch, you're automatically put in a comfort zone.
Yes. It's like it gives you the warm and fuzzies the entire time, which is rare. Sometimes you have those dips. All right. I'm going to move on to the next one and you can... Ooh, we have slides this time too. I'm excited.
Okay. So, Lovely Complex, as you said, the greatest shoujo.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down. It's really cute. The whole premise of it is she's super tall, 5'7", which in Western standards is kind of average, but in Japan, that's actually really tall.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 5'2", so not that much shorter than her, but in the show, it's portrayed like he is, I mean, he's barely coming up to like her shoulders.
Yeah. And she carries him at one point like a baby. So there's no way.
So good. And their nickname is Hanshin Kyojin, is what their teacher calls them, which is a comedy duo because they're just in sync all the time.
Yep. Say the same things at the same time, complain about the same things at the same time, and get stuck doing like school tasks at the same time because of it. So it's humorous that throughout the entire show, so 3 years of high school, they still are have this nickname and are in the same class.
Which I think is funny because the whole class is like, that's who they are. It's odd to me, like, that they could be, I don't want to say like that famous, but it's like everybody knows them for that specifically, where like, usually like people know you because of like sports or your like grades or something, but in this it's because they're complete goofs.
Yeah, it's definitely not their grades in this either. This is one of the first ones I've noticed where like neither of them are like the smartest of the school or anything like that. They are definitely just average kids with It's funny.
I think it's just so funny, like when he talks about going to college and everybody's like, huh? I feel so sorry for him.
I know. And it's just their comedic duo, and sometimes like this is a good snapshot of her and her brilliant faces she makes at him when he upsets her, because she does not hold back. She doesn't care what she says or throws at him or anything like that. But when he likes to point out, like, maybe you should make those ugly faces and you wouldn't be called a giantess or everything else that goes on.
They're so blunt with each other, which I love, and I feel is a lot more natural. I mean, the other two couples, they're like lovey-dovey, and that fits their personalities. But I feel that this makes it more real because they aren't just all of a sudden lovers. They're still friends. They basically act exactly the same. I mean, at one point in time, she tries to get a lovey-dovey, and he's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But, I mean, she's just, I don't know how to put it. Definitely one of a kind.
She is. She's very unique. Like, she's very herself, and it's really nice to have a protagonist that is... normally would be like a sidekick personality. Like they would be like the funny one on the side, the best friend status, but they made her the main person and it worked. So it's very refreshing.
It is refreshing because so many times in shoujos, like girls are either super weak and frail or they're like these superhero-esque type of girls. But very much still like, I don't know, kind of almost without personality.
And they always seem to be like smaller, cute. They try to throw glasses on them or anything else to like try to say they're normal looking, but normally they're like the same height, certain hair types, glasses, things, and it's really cool that Risa's not. That she's a taller one. She showcases whatever she wants to wear. She doesn't have a set hairstyle, personality trait. She can make ugly faces. She punches him in the face a couple times, just like straight out of like so she reminds me of Uo from like Fruits Basket a lot, but as a main character, which you don't see. You usually see is like a side story here and there, but her love story is the main thing. So it's pretty
Which
cool.
I like. I admire their love story specifically
Mm-hmm.
for the fact that they, like I said, they're so natural with each other. There's no holding back. I mean, even I don't know if it actually translates that way, but the English subtitles a couple times he calls her a B word, but like it's not like some like macho like put yourself in your place. It's like, dude, you suck. And I still like you.
Yes, like it's like I think it was like one of the basketball games or whatever where he was just like, I don't understand, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, and then she like hits him and does not like wasted all her time. She's like, I hate you, I'm not even deal with this right now, I don't want to lose her for a friend. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And that kind of goes over to him now, because usually we'd be rating if he like the hotness level, but that's not going to happen with poor Utani. He's a ball of adorableness and a blatant disregard for people's feelings.
he's so he's so he's so clueless.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's episode, it's like the show is almost over. What, it's 24,
Mm-hmm.
26 episodes long, and it's like the last like 5 or 6 episodes they are actually in a relationship.
Yeah, which I think they end it and then get back together within those 6 episodes.
They break up, and it's just like so, the communication is there, but it's like the lights are on but nobody's home. They're like walking up the steps and he's like, so you want to tell me who the guys you like? And everybody's just like
ridiculous. Yeah. He's completely oblivious to how adorable they look all the time, and like their friendship being perfect for relationship status next level, and how much he cares about her. I mean, whose friend randomly gives you like a fireworks birthday and thinks that's a normal thing for a girl?
right. Like, that's not like, I mean, sure, there are people out there that might like go out of the way for like a really close friend like that to a certain extent. But I mean, he really did go like over the top.
Mm-hmm.
This is, a moment kind of thing with that whole birthday. And then she told him that she liked him. He was just like, oh.
Yeah. He's like, oh, you're joking. That's funny. Yeah, great. You would like me after this, but that's a joke. So, and then it goes into a whole episode of her trying to, I think she confesses like 8 times. Like, I feel
oh my gosh,
awful.
so many times.
This poor thing.
But it's so funny because very early on in the show, you would think that he was going to confess first.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how he reacts when Haruka shows up. He got so pissed off and like walked away. Like, who does that? That somebody that isn't jealous.
Yep.
Of like, the other, like, you're talking to that person. If that was like a regular guy friend, they'd be like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like,
yeah.
And interact in the situation. But he pouted and like stormed off basically.
Wasn't willing to share, that's for sure.
No,
nope, not gonna happen. Oh, this one's perfect. I think this was like the first episode when they were trying to both date the 2 quieter friends. and they
went off.
Like, they kept forgetting that they were on a date. They were like, oh, we're gonna go play and have fun, and then they're like, oh crap, we're supposed to be spending time with these people who just want to stand in the water and look at each other silently.
Which is so funny. And I love how they didn't like create, I mean, there is like a love triangle in this, but not like a true love triangle. Like they both respect that those two people want to be together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're at first they're like, yeah, I'm gonna try, and then like there's the scene that when they're at the festival and they're like, nah, you know. And I found that endearing because a lot of times, a lot of manga and stuff, you know, there's that push,
Mm-hmm.
the push.
Yeah. And I
And
think even more so with these two, there's a lot of the other characters kind of float in and out of the story, but there's a lot of respect for the people around them as well. And it seems like not only are they living their best little love story, it's super adorable, but they help everybody else through problems respectfully, which is nice to see. Like it's nice to have two characters, both the main boy and the main girl, have the same kind of love for everybody too.
yeah,
It's cute.
something that I also really love about the two of them is just the way they talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because this is kind of rare. Look how cute she looks.
I know.
This is actually kind of rare, but they're all the actors were actually from the Kansai region,
Mm-hmm.
so they're talking with that dialect throughout the show, which is I think that's why it flows so naturally too. I always see like you always see like stuff on YouTube and you hear podcasts and everything of people talking about, you know, there's a difference between like Tokyo people and people that live in the Kansai region and how they talk and how they interact and all this other stuff. And I think this kind of gave this a little more personality. Like it wasn't so cut and dry. And I think that has to do with, you know, the region that they're in specifically.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun, like, the kids had a lot more fun. There wasn't too much drama. It was like mostly the drama was basically Otani being oblivious to everything else, but it was very lighthearted and wasn't too much like, you know, drugs in it or no nothing like that. It was really very, I don't know. It was nice. It was very, very, very clean and nice. And so I think I agree with you that maybe that's just the way that they perceive that area, and like they have this nice little story going on, and it's just cute that it all came out together. So
yeah, and, you know, there were like this moment right here. You know, she looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's just so funny that she like throughout the whole show she has this potential, and I didn't get a clip of it, but she does make a face when he's like, oh, you look pretty, and she's like, do I? Right in his face, and he's just like, not anymore. And at that point, they're like together.
Yeah. That's super cute, though.
Yeah, no. I love their friendship. I love that they're, you know, they can kiss and hug and, you know, be into each other, but still, you know, they're friends first.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's not a dub for this, right? I think we
no. I think there's like a fan dub, which I don't think I would like there to be a dub of this, because a lot of times I think what they like equate the Kansai dialect to, if you read a lot of manga, is like a southern, like Texas twang kind of dialect when you read it. And I don't know if I don't think that would fit right.
It probably wouldn't land too right for some of the characters. Some of them I could maybe see. The friends, the darling thing, I could see in like kind of a twang, but like no.
No, yeah, no. This is like, I don't think this one should ever be like dubbed.
It doesn't need to be. Yeah, it's a classic. I mean, maybe if they ever, I don't think they'll ever remake it. They're not going to continue it. So
no. There was at one point in time, the author started to serialize like a story that was like, I guess, about her brother or whatever, and I do believe it got dropped, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer because I would like to see more of their story. I know the manga, it's not that long of a manga either. There's only 17.
Oh, yeah, wow.
There's only like 17 volumes.
Which nowadays is like a short story.
Right? That's only like the first arc of
Yeah.
like, a manga. But yeah, it's only about 17 volumes. And I know it goes, I think it goes a little past them. I think it introduces them in college, and I think there's like maybe a chapter of them after college. I'm not too sure. Want to get a hold of the manga, but we both know how that situation is going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody in America is reading manga right now, and
It's like they decided like so I think it's the same thing with like comics, like trades right now. They used to be like $1. You could buy like 8 of them on eBay, and now it's like, oh, you want that? It's gonna pay $55 for that. Oh, we have this one before the kissing. I forgot about this. And I don't understand. I don't. It must be something for this area too, because I don't understand how that hair is going to attract anything besides porcupines. But that was just.
didn't she say something like that? She was like making fun of him so hard, and he was just like,
up.
I think he was trying to change his look, and it just didn't go well at all.
Should just cut his hair. Oh my goodness. And then we get to the sweetness.
I really loved this scene, and the fact that he's so, it's funny that he's so shy about their relationship, and they're friends with two couples that are, I mean, the really quiet couple, they're quiet and they're kind of shy, but the other two are just like all over each other all the time. Darling.
I swear they say it like 50,000 times. They don't say their own names. Sometimes they're just like, "Oh, darling says this and darling says that." And I was like, "Oh my goodness," but they're perfect. I really liked the scene that happened a little bit before this, where she kissed him first, and I know there was like a silly kiss, feverish, whatever nonsense before that, but where she really tried in her final confession of like, this is really how I feel about you before this episode. I was just like, go Risa, there you go, because most people would just cry and run off, and she's like, no, I'm going to at least get this going and then show you what I mean.
Yeah, you kissed me, so now I'm going to steal a kiss from you.
Yes. I'm going to get my revenge because you're an idiot.
He's like, but him being so shy, you know, not wanting anybody to see them, and making the moment like sweet and private. I actually really enjoyed that it was like a sweet, private moment. It wasn't forced. No. It was genuine. It was a genuine like kiss, and you know, it's a kiss that she wanted too.
And it was very well played, Otani, in your romantic little body. Now we get to kind of some of the side characters, and one of the best. Well, they're all really great, but Seiko's like amazing. I just heard their comments before, like throughout the entire show, are just hilarious, because she knows that Utani likes Risa the entire time, and she likes Utani, so she's like, come on.
You don't know that you like this person?
Yeah. The fact that, and then Haruka too, was like, they're both liking the other party, and they're both like, really, guys, this is how this is gonna be. They're when they're constantly like telling Risa it's gonna be okay, and Otani's like, what's going on? It's just crazy.
You know what? I really loved her character for the simple fact of how they represented her, especially given the time, because this is early 2000s. So, I mean, this is pre, like, you know, Love Wins All, and all, you know, typically, you know, people like her are almost, they're comic relief, and they're kind of misrepresented. But everybody took her situation serious and was respectful for it. And then it's like she's just another character.
Yeah.
Like nobody makes a big deal out of it. Nobody is like, well, you can't have him because you're a guy. Like, nobody says that. Even at like one point in time, Risa's like, oh, you know.
The way that they reveal it too, they could have just had like any other moment, but the in the doctor's office where
That's actually really, it's really funny to me because his face is just like, wait a minute.
and I was more like, are you were just gonna let her strip? And then
in the nurse's office.
yeah, so funny. But I do like that the show addressed it really quickly. So there was no questions asked about where anything stand or anyone stood on the issue. It was like, here's what this is, and then we're gonna move on. So it was really nice. And that both characters both respected it as well. Cause you're like Otani could have obviously like been weird about it and he wasn't. He was very genuine and it was great. It was good.
Yeah, yeah. I liked the way he addressed her
Mm-hmm.
in the situation at hand. It's like, no, I can't be with you, but doesn't mean that I don't like you, kind of thing. Doesn't mean that I hate you.
No.
Which I thought was very mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that. I liked that a lot. That there was this issue, this situation that came up, and then it's like everybody basically just moved on, which is also really nice because I mean, her and Haruka like hang out. Like, they're always together for the rest of the show.
They're the best. They're a good comedic duo. Speaking of like comedic duos, the two of them are hilarious.
Yeah. She's just always like, senpai, like just
yeah. What are you doing? so good.
This sweet boy. He's adorable. He really is. He just had a crush on an older girl. Like,
the wrong older girl.
a wrong older girl. But definitely, I mean, I think he was just genuine. And I'm blanking right now, but I don't think she was ever like bluntly like, I have a boyfriend with him. Like,
probably didn't cross her mind. Knowing Risa, she was probably thinking, "Oh, this is all right."
Well, remember, she was when he busted them going to the concert, that private concert for Sea Monkey.
Oh,
was that before or after the kiss? That was before the kiss.
Yes,
that was before the kiss, and he was mad. Which, to me, I thought that was odd. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, she should have said something. She should have said, "Hey, I'm going, to the Sea Monkey event with a guy friend." Yes, but at the same time, the fact that he got so pissed off and so jealous, kind of like, I mean, to me, revealed that I think Otani actually likes Risa more than it's like portrayed.
Yes, I will agree with you on that part because he gets jealous. He gets jealous like from the beginning. Like anybody who like interfered with anything they were gonna do that was gonna be fun, he was like, no, not having any of it.
Right?
So yeah, so I think yes, this was only like a small showing of it after they are actually together, but it's just like yeah, but have to throw a little drama in there.
Just a little drama, and I mean, I like that his character was like, my bad. I mean, he did kind of challenge him because he made Risa cry, but I feel like it was like almost empty because for the rest of the show, it's not like he really tries to date her.
No, I'm like Haruka, who's like desperate the entire time.
He makes me laugh so hard. Like he's so extra and so ridiculous. Him and his 8 girlfriends that he's using to get ready for her.
And then when they had the teacher that ended up being related to him and he was in love with him too, and I was like, oh geez, Haruka, you're just like done.
Oh, the Mighty Sensei, like that whole, I thought that was kind of like odd. I really wish they had introduced actual tangible character to take her interest away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have, because he wasn't going to date her.
No.
It was never going to be a thing.
No.
Never. But the fact that he was there kind of, I think it really downplayed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, he finally admitted that he liked her, you know, with everything that was going on. She's taking me home. Just that whole nonsense. I should have gotten out of that.
On a bike, like
I know, and then they get chased by the police, what, like 2 or 3 times?
Yeah.
Twice?
Oh, well, I mean, and I was just thinking about it too. It's like he's mad because there's 2 of them on the bike. I don't know.
Right. I think maybe you're not supposed to do that in Japan. Can you not do that here either?
I don't think so. Especially though the helmet. They didn't have helmets on. They were being kids. So
yeah.
But
excuse me.
Getting these 2, the little quiet pairing.
I liked their episode. I really enjoyed it, and it makes me wonder if the manga goes a little more into detail about them. And I like how they made it okay for her to make a decision, you know, not necessarily based on him, but because it's like I want to be with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of, you know, that's okay. I do have friends that got married like right out of high school. They're still together, you know, and it's not like she necessarily gave up her dream. You know, it's not like she was like, okay, well, I just won't go to school.
Yeah.
He still, you know, still went to school. He, you know, got into a different school, which I don't know how their getting into college thing works there. It's very confusing to me.
Yeah, because like every anime you watch is something different, but usually it's like because they want to do something different, so maybe they're specialized. I don't know.
I think they're very like, specialized in the fact that like, because I know there's the national exam. I always see that in shows. There's a national exam, and you can go to a national university. And then, have you read Blue Period yet?
Yes, with the art colleges, that is all like there's only like 50 spots for like 100,000 people. I was like, geez.
Yeah, no pressure there.
No.
None.
I was like, wow. He's explaining the school system. I was like, I have to read this 3 times because I don't understand how to get into the school, let alone what I have to do. So,
right?
I was like, what? But that's another.
that's a whole other show.
That's a whole other show. It's a manga show. That one's gonna be But these 2 are very, very adorable, and then it brings us to these 2.
I love these 2.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous in every way.
They're talking about being in sync too. And well, I felt bad for Otani because he was trying to go see his friend for like help and like wanted friendship. And he's like, no, my girlfriend told me you should feel this way towards Risa. You need to figure it out.
He's definitely like, you know, that like, you know, the whole bros thing. He's like, you know, we're bros, but that's my girlfriend.
Yeah. And you're making it very hard for me to be girlfriend and boyfriend right now. So figure it out so she doesn't hate me.
I think he even says like, I think he even flat out was like, you're stupid. Like at one point, he's just like that. He had that straight face with the block eyes. And he's like, you're dumb.
Especially when he figures out after a while that Utani's doing all this stuff that's very contradicting anything that he's saying. And so he's just like, no, we're not going to talk about this.
Yes. He was definitely like the friend that was just like, but really, dude. And I liked that because a lot of times, you know, the guy friends in shoujo are kind of promoted like kind of jerky.
Yeah, anti-relationship usually.
Yeah, like they don't want their friends in a relationship. Like screw her, you know. I mean, the only other anime that I can think that doesn't really do that is Say I Love You. But the rest of them are very like, when there's like a guy friend or like a group of guy friends, and there's one guy that likes this one girl, they're not supportive of it. So the fact that he was just like, but really, do you realize that you like her?
Yeah. And I like that all six of them like are hanging out a lot. Like they're literally all friends with each other too, as well as coupling. But it's like it was very, again, very very cutesy and very clean. So it was like very nice to see. There was no like contradicting like lines of people liking other people's girlfriends. It was very simple.
That was super
Mm-hmm.
refreshing. Like, I mean, yeah, Risa and Otani liked the other two at first, but they backed off and let them be a couple,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm sorry, what just popped in my head is because she's wearing the outfit I think she's wearing the outfit that they when they were at the mall, and she's like, "You gotta grab your breast." That scene. I was just looking at him like, wait, is that the outfit she's wearing at the mall?
She's so cute too. And then when Seiko-chan came up and then she was trying to be cutesy and then she was like freaking out that she wasn't going to be the cute one at school anymore. And she was like, oh no, we're not dealing with this anymore.
That was so good. She was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You're stepping on my turf, little one. Like,
Yeah. The same thing with Mighty Sensei when she was like, she was like sick to her stomach because of how he was acting all princely. She's like, I can't do this. I can't.
which is kind of funny because when you look at like his backstory a little bit, and he like was the tough kid apparently, which I can't see that now. Like, you don't get that vibe of him being like the tough kid that beat people up. Like,
he's so, yeah. He's very like it's ridiculous. I can't even. There's no words to describe him because it's not average. He's like very normal, very steady, very. He's awesome.
yeah, he's a good support system. He has a personality,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not over top. They were all really good supporting characters that had their moments, and I appreciated that because a lot of times, these characters are literally just in the background, and that's all they are is background noise. But the fact that in the show they had their own episodes where it was like, okay, this is actually going on in their relationship, and this is what's going on in their relationship, and they're all growing and supporting each other together, I thought was very unique because a lot of times, the friends are just friends. They're just there.
Yeah. Or if they have anything kind of conflict with those friends, they resolve that one issue and then the friend goes away to college or does like moves away off the face of the planet of the story or anything like that. So having some kind of continuous involvement, even though it is nice too.
Yeah. Yeah. So. No, I really enjoyed them. They were funny, and her strong personality just she's such a mom.
Especially when Risa was down too. She was like, she needed that other character to be there to be helpful and everything else too.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, I think the last point of us like talking about a show is an intros and outros for these. And there we got to have 2 sets of them. And I enjoyed all of them. So it didn't matter. I watched them all the entire time. I never skipped them, which is rare. So even for 2 sets. And, I got to work out to them. So they were pretty nice.
You know what? They're not annoying.
No.
That I don't know about you, but for me, a lot of shoujo intros and outros are like over the top, cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to, you listen to it like once or twice, and then you're like, nope. Especially older ones, especially older shows, like the intros and outros, you're just like, gotta keep going with that one. But this one I could literally have on in the background, go do something, and then like come back and be like, okay, the show's on.
Yeah. So this is like the big choices here. So our coffee choices happen to be the same.
They are. We
Mm-hmm.
both are feeling a latte today.
Mm-hmm.
Warm and yummy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I will probably watch this again before the end of the year. I'm not gonna lie.
I might be on that too if I didn't have like 80 other things like including in my year. It's turning into if enough series come out, it's going to be a lot.
It's and there's so many series that are backlog that are
Mm-hmm.
coming out that were supposed to come out like last year and they're coming out this year instead.
And there's like
So
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've definitely like put some stuff to the side so I can just binge it later. And I've been watching like, and I know this is like a huge like trope in the community, but I have definitely been just doing some rewatching of
Mm-hmm.
stuff because it's like while I want to watch this, I want to also like get things done.
Mm-hmm.
And we both know that there are just some of the newer subs, no, some of the newer dubs are not as good as the older dubs.
Mm-hmm.
Like so, like Fairy Tale,
Yeah.
I can listen to dubbed.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. I watched the new My Hero movie dubbed. Did I tell you about this? I got stuck trying to I bought it off Amazon and I didn't think that it would not be subbed. And so I ended up jumping into that and just never hearing it before and it was quite interesting. Some voice actors were great and like characters that you wouldn't normally hear during the series were actually okay, but I think after if you watch it subbed first, it almost is shocking diving into something dubbed that you're
I
used to
watched it
hearing.
with Tiny Human, and because he wanted to watch
Mhm.
it, and this was after I watched it, so I was like, you know what, it's no different than an Avengers movie. Is you know the show,
Mhm.
on the other hand, it's a little more graphic, but the movie wasn't that bad, and I was like, sure, whatever. It's superheroes. He likes them, like he's
Mhm.
obsessed with Bakugo, and
Oh,
the moment
good.
I
He
Bakugo's
should
voice,
be.
and it wasn't Johnny Young Bosch, I was like,
Yeah. No, I'm not sure who that voice actor is, but it was not him and Midoriya's were the cringe ones. But everybody else I could deal with. Minetta's was perfect, by the way.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. The girls' voices, I
Yeah.
the girls' voices were okay for me, but not my favorites.
Hmm. I think Froppy and Mina's voices were fine, but you didn't hear them as often. So it
Yeah,
was like they were off on their own. And then the main girl, Melissa, she was I liked her voice just fine, but she's not in the series, so that's my first interpretation of her. And she's supposed to be from America, so I assumed it works. But I had to tell you because I watched it and I was like, oh my goodness, stark difference from watching it in Japanese. I'll tell you that.
yeah, yeah. Like, well, I mean, look at this show. You cannot dub this. I don't
Mm-mm.
want them to,
No.
because like I said, they always put like because Kansai, when it's written, it's got a twang and a ta and a and a the way
Mhm.
they say things, and I'm just like, please don't. I don't think I don't know if there are any voice actors with natural, actual Southern accents. Maybe if people were actual Southern accents,
Yeah.
it could be okay. But if somebody was like faking it, as somebody that grew up like 10 minutes from Texas, I would hear that and I would be like,
Not today. But that being said, next month's series that we're doing is Honey and Clover, right?
yes, Honey and Clover, so sweet, so
Mhm.
wholesome. I adore this show, and I know there's a lot of like young people controversy trying to draw up, with the one of the main
Shorter
characters.
humans. Yeah.
Yeah, with the shorter humans. But if you don't take it out of context, it is honestly a very sweet show.
Mhm.
And I do enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a longer a little bit longer one too, I think. But
Mm.
it's definitely worth watching regardless. I don't think there's any ill intention to it whatsoever.
there really isn't.
Low.
There really isn't. I feel like the people who see the ill intention are just reaching. So, you know, when you hear people talk about it and like try to like put it in like a cringe thing, take it with a grain of salt. Watch it, you know, come on here with us. We're hopefully going to be, you know, premiering, you know, do we want to do this the next one live? Maybe we might do this one live, you know, so little luck next month. We might do this next one
now
live.
That we're all fancy.
I know, we got all this stuff going on. Might be fun.
All right, well, we're going to say adios for right now, but next we'll post a date for the next one if it's going to be live. All right.
See you guys
later.